What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. I'm SwipaCam, and welcome to my channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the logo. This community is blowing up. Over 1,570 subscribers, and we barely are 2 months in. Think about where we're going to be 6 months from now. Y'all, 10,000 subscribers, we're going to Serbia. 50,000 subscribers, we're going somewhere else. And 100,000 subscribers, hey, we going to see. I got some special projects lined up for you. But you know what? Let's get straight to it. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Denver Nuggets player grades. Denver Nuggets first half of the season player grades. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, I know what y'all want to do. Y'all want to start with Nikola Jokic. Y'all want to start with Jamal Murray. Y'all want to start with Michael Porter Jr. And you know what? I'm going to break it up a little bit. We're going to work through every single player on the Denver Nuggets roster. And the way this is going to work, I want you to leave in the comment section your player grades for each player as we go. All right, let's get started. You know what? My Argentinians, let's start with y'all. Facu Campazzo. Mr. Argentina himself, Mr. Argentine himself, Mr. All Spanish League, Mr. All Europe, Mr. Player of the Decade. Look, Facu Campazzo this season, 5.5 points per game. 5.5 points per game. With a good amount of assists considering how much he's playing. 2.1 assists. Facu Campazzo, 1 steal per game. 2.0 assist to turnover ratio. You know what? Facu Campazzo, y'all. Facu Campazzo has 11.76 PER. But honestly, Facu has played decent, man. I want to give Facu, I'm going to give him a fair grade. Facu has a B-. Facu is a B-, but here's why. It's not because of Facu's skill. It's not because of anything Facu is doing or hasn't done. Because Facu, I think, took a few games to adjust to the NBA. He was playing over in Europe. He was dominating, absolutely dominating overseas. But he comes to America, and he has to deal with guards that are bigger, quicker, and stronger than he is. And it took him a few games to adjust. And Facu, eventually, he started being real pesky. Y'all, we saw him play against Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. We saw him play against some of the smaller guards in the NBA, even the Schröders of the world. So Facu has played decent. When he's got an opportunity, when he's been called upon to play defense against somebody, he's done relatively well. So let's give Facu Campazzo a B-. Let me know in the comment section what you think. It's not because Facu isn't a good player. I think Facu has so much more to his game than we've been allowed to see so far. I think Facu has another level to his game. I think as he gets more involved in the offense. But here's the thing, y'all. Because of Monte Morris, MPJ Dozier, because Jamal Murray, because of Gary Harris, is he going to get shoved out of the lineup in the second half of the season? We'll see. But again, first half grade, I'll give him a B-. He stepped up. He's played in some key spots. He's done really well in some key spots, but I think he really just needs to continue to adjust to the NBA game. All right, next. Let's go to Vlatko Cancar. I'm going to give him a B. The reason I'm going to give him a B, because I didn't expect anything from Vlatko Cancar this year. I don't know about y'all. I didn't expect anything from him. I honestly didn't think he was going to play. But really, the last 5 games, 3-4 games, ever since everybody was hurt, Vlatko has played well. Vlatko has played decent. He filled in, played good defense, 2-3 zone, especially against the Milwaukee Bucks. He stepped up. He's done a lot of great things when he's been called upon. He knows what he's supposed to do. He's smart. He gets where he's supposed to be. And that's really all you can ask for Vlatko. He doesn't have crazy skills, doesn't have anything he's really good at, not a great outside shooter, anything like that. But Vlatko has played decent. He's played decent when he needs to, when he's been called upon. Let's see. Vlatko Cancar this year. Yeah, Vlatko is only shooting 21% from 3, but again, I can't expect greatness from him, but he's filled in when he needs to be. Vlatko Cancar. Greg Whittington, let's get him an NA. Not available. We've only seen him twice, I think, and this is like garbage time. Greg Whittington, 6'8", two-way player. We were waiting to see him, but then he got knee surgery, so hopefully in the second half of the season we'll see him, but right now I ain't got nothing on Greg Whittington. Marcus Howard. I'm going to give him an incomplete as well because Marcus Howard, man, He averaged 27 points per game last year at Marquette, I believe. So, again, he's a scorer, but he is not shooting well for somebody who shot really well in college. Let's see, Marcus Howard is only shooting 13.6% from the three-point line so far. So, again, it ain't great. You know, it's really garbage minute. I don't know how much of an NBA player he's going to be because he is so small. He's 5'11". But I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see where he goes from there. Bobo has an F. Bobo's an F. Bobo's not an F because of talent. Bobo's not an F because he doesn't have ability. But Bobo is really, really, really far behind and really much further behind on his basketball acumen than I thought he would be. Bobo has not looked good this year. He's had some moments, some key spots where he's looked good, but by and large, Bobo ain't looked great this year. He ain't looked great. So I'm going to give him an F, man, because we thought Bobo, I remember, think about it, y'all, when we were talking about the Drew Holiday trades before the season started, the Nuggets, we were just like, man, I don't want to trade Bobo because what if Bobo turns out to be somebody? What if Bobo ends up being like a great two-way player, the perfect power forward next to Nikola Jokic? And right now, is he going to get rotation? I don't know. He just has a long way to go. So Bobo gets a straight F, y'all. It's just a straight F. For what he should be, he gets an F. Man, RJ Hampton, man. I'm getting RJ Hampton a B+, man. I like RJ Hampton. The dude has come in. He started the game this year. RJ Hampton has come in and played great defense. He is a really selfless player, dominant athlete. He knows that he has a role. He has a role to come in and play defense, to give his maximum effort, and he's done that. He's done that, man. I like RJ Hampton a lot. He might have a future with the Denver Nuggets, possibly starting shooting guard. We'll see. RJ Hampton has played decent, man. He's still not shooting great, not great shooting splits. 41% from the field, 27.8 from the three-point line. So, again, not great shooting splits, but RJ Hampton has come in and played defense when he's needed to. And so I really respect his game. I think he can be a special player in the future. Zeke Naji, man, I'm going to give Zeke Naji a B+. It might be an A-, but let me say why. Zeke Naji is 6'11". And how many of y'all actually thought that Zeke Naji was going to be able to play this year? And so the thing goes in training camp. Remember, we were hearing in training camp that Zeke has a great shooting form. You know, I saw last year at Arizona, he had a good form, but he didn't shoot any threes. I saw him shoot some mid-range. I was like, man, he possibly could be a good three-point shooter one day. But then he comes out in preseason, is hitting in preseason. We're like, is Zeke going to be a stretch four? And we had an idea that he had switchability, like 3 through 5 switchability, maybe 1 and 2, depending on who the player is. And Zeke he's blown by all expectations, man. He really has. Man. I'm going to give him an A-, matter of fact. I think Zeke Naji played really well. Zeke Naji right now is shooting 41.7% from the three-point line, y'all. Can you imagine Zeke Naji possibly starting next to Jokic? Because I can. Zeke Naji, man, I like his game. I think he can be a really good player next to Jokic. All right. Isaiah Hartenstein, D. A D as in dog. Isaiah Hartenstein was supposed to come in and be a good backup center. Now, again, I know a lot of y'all like Isaiah Hartenstein. I know you're looking forward to him playing. I know he has the best plus-minus on the team. I get that he has the numbers. But eye test-wise, he looks really out of place sometimes. Now, some games, in some spots, he plays really well. In some spots, he plays really hard. In some spots, he looks good. But for the most part, man, he's just looked really sloppy. And his foul rate is insanely high. So I think we've come to realize how good Mason Plumlee is. Again, Mason Plumlee has 2 triple-doubles for the Detroit Pistons. So Isaiah Hartenstein, I'm going to give him a solid D. I think he can be better, but he's young. He has room to grow. But he's just really sloppy. He doesn't have great body control. And then on top of that, you know, for somebody who is 7 feet tall, you think it would just be able to catch the ball right in the pocket and slam the ball and dunk. He's not great at putbacks, not great at catching the ball, resetting and going back up. Decent defense in terms of standing there and being big, but not a great shot blocker either. So I'm going to give him a D. I expected more. Hopefully he gets better. PJ Dozier. PJ Dozier is a B+. PJ Dozier is a B+. Right now, PJ Dozier, y'all, is shooting 39% from 3. Did you ever expect a 6'6" PJ Dozier to shoot 39% from three, really 40% most of the year. The only reason PJ Dozier may not have an A, y'all, is because sometimes he's too dominant with the ball. Sometimes he does too much with the ball. But PJ Dozier plays great defense, and his plus-minus as of late has been insanely high. He's been a top 3 player in plus-minus and the top player in plus-minus like the last 3 games he's been back. PJ looks really good next to Murray, next to Jokic, next to MPJ. So I think PJ Dozier is a B+ because the only reason he missed games was because of injury. I think he missed like 15 games or so. But when he's been in, he's looked really good. And honestly, he's given us a really good Torrey Craig replacement, but a ball-handling point guard Torrey Craig. So I like PJ Dozier. I'm really thinking he's going to be a key playoff player. If this lineup and this roster stays the way it is, I think PJ Dozier becomes a good playoff player, so he gets a B+ from me. JaMychal Green. JaMychal Green is shooting 42.7% from the three-point line. And again, the reason I'm referencing the three-point line, y'all, is because for the Denver Nuggets, this is immensely important. Because Jokic, Murray, and MPJ need a space floor. If they have a space floor, it's a wrap. If your 3 stars have a good lane to the basket, the lane is decently clear, that really changes a lot of things in terms of their ability to operate. So it's really important for me that JaMychal Green is shooting this well. JaMychal Green, when he was out the first 5 games of the year, they were 1-4. So they were really struggling. As JaMychal Green comes in, the Denver Nuggets defense gets better, the defense gets better, the team defense gets better, the defensive net rating gets better, and then on top of that, he was shooting like 52% from three-point line for a good portion of the year. So you left him open, he was sniping. JaMychal Green, man, let's go ahead and give him an A. Again, he's not Jeremy Grant. He can't defend perimeter players, but he has played really well in spots. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Sometimes he has unnecessary fouls, which can get on my nerves sometimes. But JaMychal Green, man, I think he deserves an A considering we signed him to a $15 million 2-year deal, $15 million deal, 2-year deal, right after Jeremy Grant left for the Detroit Pistons, and he came in maybe unexpected to go to the Nuggets, and he really wants to be here. Remember, Jokic said, this is the guy I want to play with the rest of my career because that's how good he is. That's how well he fits next to Jokic. So he's a tough player, grit and grind, Memphis Grizzly kind of player. So I really like him. So JaMychal Green gets an A for me. Gary Harris. Gary Harris, a C. Unfortunate C. Gary Harris is shooting 32% from the three-point line, but Gary Harris' lockdown defense has been just outrageous. When he's been in the lineup, he's changed the Denver Nuggets defense. Just like last year against the Utah series against Donovan Mitchell, Gary Harris came back in Game 5, changed the complexion of the series. Gary Harris is still a top-tier perimeter defender, but Gary Harris has been really inconsistent with his three-pointer. He started the year like 13%, but I want to say since that point, he's shooting like 40% from three-point line, maybe 38% or something like that. So Gary Harris is a C because he's been hurt again. Gary Harris is always on the trading block for the Denver Nuggets because, again, you don't know what he's going to get for him. He's making like $19 million a year, has one more year on his deal. Gary, you just have to deal with those injuries, man. The core injuries, you got to deal with growing injuries. But when Gary is in the game, he's playing really well. Jokic loves playing against him. Again, undersized shooting guard, but he's played decent. He's really played decent. So I hope Gary gets back healthy. They really need him, especially if they're going to continue to climb the rankings from the 6th seed to the 5th to the 4th, possibly to the 3rd. Gary Harris gets a C from me because of inconsistent shooting, but also because he's been hurt. Paul Millsap, man. Yeah, I think he's a C as well. Paul Millsap shooting 41% from 3 again and 52% from the field, but Paul Millsap looks like he's 36 years old. He's been hurt again. Paul Millsap, he is going to be really clutch in key moments. I know he will be. I know that against Anthony Davis in the playoffs last year, he did really well. I know Paul Millsap is a veteran defender who still is decent on backside defense, who really doesn't make up for a lot of mistakes, especially Jokic. He has great hands. He's strong, good leader. He is somebody you want in the locker room. But Paul Millsap, considering, again, all things considered, Paul Millsap came back when he didn't have to. So that's an A move right there. He could have went anywhere else. He came back to Denver. But I think Paul Millsap, considering the injury, considering the age, he's probably a C to a C plus for me. I hope Paul Millsap comes back soon because we do need Paul for the defense. Monte Morris, man. Monte Morris is a solid B, like a solid 85, 86. Solid B. Because Monte Morris has stepped in and become a great starting guard. next to Jamal Murray. Really great starting guard next to Jamal Murray. Shooting 36% from the three-point line, 47.7% from the field. Yeah, man. Monte Morris has been good. 75% from the free throw line. Monte Morris has been good. I like Monte Morris in the starting lineup. The only thing is his defense, but Monte Morris has done what he's supposed to do, man. He really has. He has been really good. Assist-to-turnover ratio is a 4.9, so excellent assist-to-turnover ratio again. Monte Morris has played hustle defense. He hasn't been shooting exceptional in the mid-range and the floater like maybe you would expect. But in terms of taking pressure off of Jamal Murray, he's done excellent. He's been a true point guard on the court. So he gets like a B+ for me. I'm going to bump it up to a B+ because, again, for someone who didn't expect to start this year, he's done really well when he has been called to start. But playing next to Jamal Murray and putting Jamal Murray at the shooting guard has been elite. So I really like Monte Morris, what he's done this year. If we hadn't had Monte Morris, like I said, I think he's the best backup point guard in the NBA. So Monte Morris gets a B+ for me. Will Barton. Will Barton gets a C+. Will Barton gets a C+. Will Barton gets a C+ because he has been there. He's been around, but Will Barton has really fought through injuries. He has really fought through some injuries, not including last year, but even getting healthy this year, getting in a rhythm. He struggled with some confidence issues this year. The reason he gets a C+ because Will Barton has at least been more consistent, more healthy than Gary Harris has. We've had Will Barton for 33 games, had Gary Harris for 19 games. He's played one less game than Jamal Murray, y'all. So in terms of consistency, 29.9 points per game. Not shooting great, only averaging 11.6 points a game this year. But again, man, he's played well. He's played well at times. He can be out of control at times, ball dominant at times. But as of late, he's been playing pretty well. And again, man, you need a consistent player. He can start at the shooting guard. He can start at the power small forward, and he'd also be a six man. I like Will Barton. Will Barton again gets a bad rap with a lot of fans because he is not super popular. He can sometimes again play out of control, but he loves Nikola Jokic. He loves Jamal Murray. He is supportive of Michael Porter Jr. And you can't ask many veterans to be as humble as he's been with this team. So Will Barton gets a C+ from me because he's been around. He's been there. Again, I don't know if Gary Harris and Will Barton are going to be on the team after the trade deadline. Honestly, they probably wouldn't have been if Milwaukee didn't offer 5 picks basically for Drew Holiday. But Will Barton, again, he's been there 33 games. Now we're getting to the big three. Michael Porter Jr., man, 26 games played. He missed 10 games only because of COVID. Now, again, knock on wood, but Michael Porter Jr. has been very healthy. He turned his ankle last year against the Milwaukee Bucks, was out for a couple of games. But other than that, he's been really healthy. And this start of the season, he really struggled. He struggled to find out what he was supposed to be on this team, his role on this team, where he fits between Jamal Murray, and Nikola Jokic. But the last 10 games or so, Michael Porter Jr. has looked really well. And Michael Porter Jr. has star potential. Michael Porter Jr., for me, considering he's dealt with adversity with COVID, considering he has been relearning his position, considering he has adjusted his own play style to fit the Nuggets, considering he has done everything that's been asked of him, I think that he honestly deserves a B+. Again, expectations, we'll say he from filling expectations, he's a B, but he's a B+. He's a B+ for me. Jamal Murray, man. Jamal Murray is averaging 21.8 points per game, 4.6 assists per game, and he's averaging 4.2 rebounds a game in the best year of his career. Jamal Murray gets an A, bar none. A for Jamal Murray. 1,000% A for Jamal Murray. All things considered, Jamal Murray has done what he's supposed to do. He struggled the first 18 games of the year. He was hurt. But ever since that point, Jamal Murray has been on point. A for Jamal Murray. He is an all-star player this year based on how he's been playing since he's been healthy. The last 18 games or so, Jamal Murray has looked really good. The last 12, he's averaging like 29.8 points per game, something outrageous like that. Jamal Murray looks every bit like a superstar right now next to Jokic. Jokic loves him. Jamal Murray gets an A. He fought through adversity. Played even when he wasn't healthy. Hip issues, ankle issue, shoulder issue, elbow issue, fought through all of it and had still played 34 games this year, I believe. Jamal Murray gets an A. Nikola Jokic is an A+. He's the MVP of the league. 27.1 points per game, 11 rebounds a game, 8.6 assists per game, 1.6 steals per game. And he's just been exceptional. He has a PER of 31.61, leads the NBA. He's first in the NBA in win shares, first in the NBA in win shares for 48 minutes, first in the NBA in offensive win shares, first in the NBA in offensive box plus minus, first in the NBA in box plus minus overall, top 5 in defensive box plus minus, top 10 in defensive win shares. He's number 1 in VORP. He is the MVP of the league. He has an A+. If I could have a higher grade than 100, then Jokic would have that. When Jamal Murray was hurt, Jokic carried the team. Michael Porter Jr. was out for 10 games, Jokic carried the team. He's been by far the most outstanding player in the NBA this year, and it ain't close. Y'all, let me know in the comment section what you think. This has been another video for SwipaCam, Swipe a Game. Let me know what you think about your player grades. List them in the comment section for me. Start with Jokic if you want, Maul, MPJ, however you want to do it. Start with the bench players, international players, do whatever you want to do. Let me know. Let's interact in the comment section. Subscribe, SwipaCam, Swipe a Gang. We out. I will see y'all soon when the Denver Nuggets play against the Memphis Grizzlies. We out.